What up, everybody? Bboy Prism, Ground Zero Crew, and today in Ground Zero Crew News, I wanted to talk to you guys about a podcast that my crew sent me a link to. It's called The Spotlight. It's run by the Bboy Spot people, and in this one, they were interviewing Kuriouz from My 180, and they asked him a question, Mex and Insight, on who he thought was the most overrated crew in Florida history. Naturally, he said Ground Zero Crew, and it's no surprise because a lot of people, have been always envious of our success and what we did and thought that other crews deserved more. But in reality, we're the ones that put ourselves out there like that. We worked hard for it. There was no handy-downs, no give-outs, none of our boys giving us free plane tickets, none of that stuff. We had people in our crew working at Taco Bell to save up money just to go to the Rocksteady anniversary to win competitions at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really did it from the bottom all the way to the top. When we were little kids, we used to look at Stat Elements, watch the videos, and be like, you know what? When they come here, we need to strategize. We're going to battle them. And we put ourselves in those situations because, you know what? We were hungry. We wanted to shine. We wanted to do those things. So I don't apologize for the crews that didn't put themselves out there. Ground Zero Crew has been always a very competitive crew. And as an original member, my crew feels really offended by the comments, the bold statements that were made, and chose me to be the representative to speak on their behalf, to show the truth, and let the new generation out there that's watching this know the truth, because opinions don't make facts, and opinions definitely do not rewrite history that's already on footage, which I'm also going to show. So stay tuned to the show, guys. You're going to see some real stuff. And honestly, this would have been handled in a more quiet, personal demeanor. But the fact is that since it's being launched in a podcast to the new generation, they can't just get a one-sided, opinionated story without facts or proof. So it's my job as a Ground Zero Crew member to preserve the history, especially in Florida, and show you, new generation B-boys and B-girls, how it was and how it should be done. So stay tuned and check it out.
Alright, this next one should be interesting. Converse to the first or the last question. What's the most overrated crew in Florida history?
Ooh.
The double-edged sword.
Here we go.
We got one and we have the other.
The other side of the coin.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I get my chance to explain my reasons, absolutely.
No, you have to say it and we're moving on, right?
Nah. Most overrated, I would say Ground Zero Crew.
Ooh.
Shots fired.
That's probably, you just mentioned the most accomplished, probably as far as titles.
And I think that's what you mean. In that regard,
that's why.
Go ahead.
Let me explain myself. Because, and that's not, I'm not trying to shoot down Ground Zero. I think Ground Zero is a dope crew. They're a legendary crew for us.
See right there, you're contradicting yourself because you said shots fired, and then you say, I'm not trying to take shots at Ground Zero Crew. But are you? You guys are secretly trying to mask certain things and give us props but try to take away certain things, or base the fact that we got the name Ground Zero to the level that it's at with just gimmicks, which is not true either. A lot of us in this crew worked really, really hard. Some of us more than others. I know Bboy and the brothers really put the crew on the map with their original innovative styles, and they basically launched a worldwide spread of that style. So they really worked hard, and it wasn't just on, whatever you're saying, gimmicks or whatever. They have actual skill, innovative moves that a lot of people use today. Even your guys' crews use today. Not just the battling, but also the moves. So let's be real and show the actual information here.
I mean, I grew up battling against those guys, and I learned a lot from them as far as, I think they're one of the best battle crews. Like, they battle. Like, they battle. They do their moves towards their opponent. Like, they intimidate. They talk a lot, but they try to intimidate you. And I think, that's one of their things, honestly. Like, but me growing up, training with certain people, like, I don't want to shout out skill methods, but like, I would see Abstract doing like some crazy, 91 way reverse halo the other way to other opposite way drill. You know what I'm saying? I'd see him battle and do these crazy moves. I'm like I said before, I'm not about gimmicks. You know what I'm saying? And I just see the dance as like, what are you gonna do with your body?
What are you going to do with your body? Your style was closer to Exube and Booze than anybody else. You had more of a Ground Zero style. So when you're telling me about reverse 90s, reverse this, like Abstract, Your style was not even close to anything around that. So be real with your statements. Speak facts about how you used to break.
What are you gonna do with your body? Like, I want to see a lot of moves. Like, and when I saw somebody like, take their hat off with their feet, like, that doesn't stand the test of time to me. That's not really impressive. Like, are you breaking? That's cool. It's I guess it's a burn, but in my personal preference, like, I'm more substance over hype. Like, I'm not about like moves like. I guess they were original. Burak, sticking his arm in his shirt and doing a freeze on the elbow, and Exuberant was doing whatever he was doing.
Whatever he was doing? Bro, you were there! You were right there looking at Zub, loving every single second of every move that he was doing. You were his biggest fan. Look, all over Kuso, like you were clapping, you were loving it, stomping your feet, going crazy for every non-traditional move that he was doing. So what do you got to say about all that? Come on, you got to be real. Even Technique was like, yo, chill out, man. You're going too crazy here. But you loved it, so be real. He was one of your biggest inspirations.
Saying like I whatever, if that's your thing, cool. But to me, if someone is doing top rock, footwork, power, reverse one way, 90 halo freeze this way, reverse, like they're speaking the language of breaking.
Language of breaking? What do you know about language of breaking, bro? Come on, be real. Baby is doing footwork, he's doing power. He's doing reverse one way, going the other. Come on, man. Be real with it. Look, right there. Boom. Halo one way, go the other way. Oh, there you go. There's your reverse. There's your power. There's your traditional movements. Come on, man. As a matter of fact, you know what? Check this out.
What I see. That's what I want to see. I'm talking about over the test of time. I'm not dissing them. I think they're dope and they did their thing. They have their history, and Roast the Most is one of the most epic jams. Props to them for that jam because everyone took that system of the 10-round battle and stuff like that. But I just think at that same time when they were traveling doing their thing, there was guys like the crews like Flipside, and if you compare them to one another at the time, maybe they were a little overrated, but they're dope.
To be fair, and just to clarify what you're saying, you're not saying that Ground Zero is a whack crew. You're just saying that they had so much success that the success isn't justified. Maybe a crew like Flipside deserved some piece of that and things like that.
Flipside? What do y'all know about Flipside? Yo, we've always shown the utmost respect for Flipside, as well as giving them brotherly love because they're a neighboring Miami crew. We battled against them when we were little kids, and you know what? They've always been pretty cool, and we've always put them on shows when we could. Put them in Roast the Most as competitors and judges, and took them to Cali with us, you know what I'm saying, to do a Ground Zero show as well as compete. So you don't know what you're talking about, straight up.
Let's also remember this, and it was a solid point that he brought. It was around the same time that Benji was winning everything. So the judging, like we talked about earlier, no one knew what to judge.
Yeah, that could be even a bigger,
To me, real talent wins. So can you take them from back then, like he was just talking about Flipside, and people are doing their stuff now? With that same skill, can they really compete in today's era? I don't really know.
We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those thugs.
I think it comes. There's a lesson to learn with breaking going forward and standing the test of time that style will generally last longer than moves.
Yeah, style is timeless. Like you can still watch Kenny break from back in '82 and he looks
now,
amazing. You can still watch him now.
Yeah.
So I think I always tell this, especially now. I always tell people it's real breaking withstands the test of time, no matter what.
I just saying I don't like theatrics. I don't like gimmicks.
You say you're not into gimmicks, but what about the old school pioneers? They used to use tricks using their clothing. Sometimes that skill's even harder than using your body alone. You can't diss that. That's part of tradition and it's part of history. So if you're trying to be by the book, that was definitely a big part of it. Even Storm from Germany used to use theatrics because it was something that everybody will always remember. It's funny how you guys speak, but you can remember what Benji used to do at Pro-Am, but I guarantee you can't remember every single move Abstract did in that round word for word without watching the footage. You see, you guys got it all backwards. See, look, Gumby does another trick using his clothing as a theatric movement because it was very important and memorable thing to do. Everybody will always remember this. Even the 90s Florida crews that you give praise to and you all love used to use tricks with clothing. That's part of culture, it's part of the tradition, and it's difficult to do. So tell the kids of the future of this dance the truth.
Yo, like, let's just dance, yo. Like what are we doing? Don't be. And I'm not saying that's wrong or right because there is no authority to it. This is just my humble opinion. I like to see someone just get busy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If I'm judging you or I'm a fan, I want to give props to the guy who's just getting busy, not the guy who's stopping. And like an air chair hop is not a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially nowadays, people get 100.
But whatever.
But at his time, he was playing with air chairs.
Air chairs, it wasn't even called that in our time. Bebe used to do a water sprinkler spin, and he used to do one-handed threads as well as hops. Air chair came about later on when everybody started biting his move. Get the facts straight.
Zero on that, on the whole battle aspect.
Yeah, we battled them plenty of times, man.
They mean it and they want it, and
coming up in the scene, you knew you were gonna have to face them, and you just did it many times. They just beat our butts left and right.
They were hungry.
The worst of you.
They went out there and they got theirs, and I guess what you're saying is they got more than they probably should have got from how hungry they were, and in the sense of like that's the overrated aspect where people disagree. But anyway.
No, I mean, I agree. Of course I agree. It's true. They put themselves out there, and you know what? People...
They kind of gave the blueprint for kind of going out there and getting yourself out.
Maybe, but maybe not, because in my opinion, also longevity
before a lot of people were...
Yeah, they started the whole trend.
And not against them, but I always think a male giving the male another penis, unless you're really about it, I never really, which is okay. It's legal if you want to do that. Hey, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool. Anybody that wants to do that, go for it because that's your choice in life. But if you're not really about it, then why are you doing it?
Recap, the pioneers used to do that too. So what do you got to say about that? And so did some of you. As well as the crews that you praise about.
Alright. On that note, very good note.
So on that note, this used to be a Florida thing. Everybody used to do it. Flipside, Ground Zero, Street Masters, and a bunch of other people. Even the pioneers, as you see in the video, used to do it even way before us. So it just goes to show that if the real masters were doing it, don't worry about what other people's opinions are, guys. Especially you, new generation, always look for the truth, always look for the facts. Don't just pay attention to the hearsay, because I guarantee a lot of that stuff is one-sided and doesn't have actual facts. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and on that note, peace.
We have losers. We have losers.
disobey and die. Disobey and die.
Back up in one more.